Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here with another video going over the top plays from today and my trades. So we'll go over my trades real quick. We got MEGL with a loss. This was a swing from the other day where we were really close to getting 10% on this multi-day bounce. Ends up getting stuffed. Sold half of it, which was an emotional decision. Should just cut all of it. Here we got a $75 loss on half of the shares. And then here today we got a $100 loss on the second half. Just this failure to break down. Ends up coming back, holds two very well, comes right back. So this could still be a potential play for a multi-day bounce, but just was not today. Didn't work out for me. Something I always talk about, how just don't try to time the bottom. Wait for it to show you what it's going to do. I got emotional, thought maybe we can get an after hours or pre-market move, as within the past week we had a few really nice movers just after hours and pre-market for the multi-day bounce. So was an emotional trade, but what are you gonna do? At least I managed to keep it under $200. TRKA, here we have a breakout from yesterday. Took it overnight up in here and was looking for a follow through. We kept making higher lows the whole day, closed right near the highs, held VWAP. Everything was looking good. A perk in demand. I was thinking we might get a follow up in that for a test of 16.9, 17-ish. But that ended up failing and cut it this morning when it failed to hold up. And yeah, so that was another loss of $70 there. And then we had a small foolish loss on Y10. This one was really bad in my opinion here in hindsight. If you couldn't tell, volume. There really is not a whole ton of volume. If we compare it, I know the overall it is doing good, but intraday here in the morning, it was not enough demand to really hold this thing up. Only thing that's really noticeable is a few minutes here where there's some green. Besides that, there's a lot of selling and then the volume dies off. So I should have never even been going into this trade. Um, so that was an unnecessary play. It was still below VWAP. I was just so focused on the open price play, and it just didn't have the volume. While it was still below VWAP, just not encouraging sign. Um, yeah. So this could have held and maybe come back and reverse this trend of just lower highs, but not enough demand, and that was my mistake. And there was other plays that ended up making moves in the morning. Well, just one really. I know the morning was pretty boring, but look at this kind of demand. This is what will bring in a strong move. But what I was playing was not good. Here we get a solid gap up on this play. Got a little bit of a breakout over 130s here. So the open price play 135 lines up with that breakout around 133. We have a huge move after hours, and all it does is fade, fade, fade. So shorts are likely trapped and they're up on this thing. So if it fails to push any lower and some buyers come back, we can see some profit takers on the short side. And that's what I think all of this was, because all you got was this nice move, and then you have to wait a little bit as it failed to break down from all the selling that went on here, all the shorts. Got a lower high, but what did it do? Failed to break down, and that led to this massive squeeze. And all happened pretty quick. Once the shorts are out, there's not much more fuel that can sustain um, that price action and push it even higher. So demand is key, as you can see here. Comparing these plays, it makes sense why Y10 ended up being a failure. Just weak follow through with the demand. So I should have recognized that. So my bad on this one. So that was just annoying here in hindsight, but still not too bad. Roughly, what was it, 30? $40 loss or so. What was it? Something like that. I gotta double check my stats. But what really saved the day was what do you call it? Oh Jesus Christ! I forgot the ticker. XPON tweeted this. It was either this one or ENSC. Was looking for the failure to break down, hold VWAP, and come back and break high a day. And in this one, I was looking for a test of the 120s region here. And then with XPON, I was thinking we can at least test the high twos here, might push to 3 right near that 285 resistance. And that happened really quick. So I was looking for that quick snipe. As you can see here, we got a solid double top. I went over this on the stream in the morning, mentioned this. Same with KERN as being potential plays that if they keep failing to break down, shorts could get disappointed. Lower float plays, demand is there. So if it keeps uptrending, shorts will eventually get exhausted and cover their position. So here we get the massive squeeze. Let me zoom this in a bit. Zoom out rather. So you get this massive move, and same deal as with KERN. You get the spike. Shorts probably in this thing. It is a low float play. Fails to break down. Shoots right up. Gives a decent VWAP open price play. With the confirmation here in the 220s. Shoots right up to the 260s. And from here, you get a double top. But what does it do? Barely breaks down past this low. Continues to hold the support from the morning here in the 220s, as well as the open price at 198. 2, hold all their $half area, key level psychologically. So I just saw this play having a potential lot amount of shorts trapped in this. So if it kept holding up and uptrending, reclaiming VWAP and high a day, we can get a squeeze to 3. And I tweeted that. I said I would only choose one because I already had a few losses in the morning. I don't want to really overtrade and just completely ruin the day. So decided to take XPON over ENSC, mainly because, you guessed it, volume. So this one here, trying to hold up, but you got some selling going on. It continues to hold, but as we say, you got to combine price action and volume. And here there was no volume accompanying this decent price action. It kept holding up. Here on the daily chart, we got a little bit of support resistance area around 88. So I was thinking if it kept holding that area, we can come back, reclaim VWAP, and push through 1 and get a push to the 120s. But not enough volume to really warrant a move like that. So ended up taking XPON as that one we saw a little bit of perk in demand slowly creep up as it was making higher lows. And that's what I was where I was taking it into the higher lows here. I almost took it here. But then by the time I was about to put in a quick little starter, it starts pulling back. So I was like, fantastic, it's doing what I want. We get that higher low. And yeah, now you confirm VWAP and you got this solid uptrend. And I didn't think it would just do 20% in a minute. It just absolutely burst or close to that. And you can really see it here. Shorts getting squeezed out. Once they've had enough here, keeps holding up, failing to break down. Once it breaks the 260s, they've had enough. And they all get out. And that's what leads this whole entire move. And then I see that, okay, I'm thinking it's going to get to the 280s, 3-ish area. So now that we're already there, maybe it can hold up. If it confirms that area of support, we can get a push even higher. And I decided to wait, hold through, see what will happen. And it did have some selling, but nothing really significant. And as we've said before, when you have that indicator of spiking on strong demand, but the pullbacks, the dips, they're all on lighter selling, it's showing there's not much selling pressure in the stock and that higher prices should be coming ahead. So in this case, that worked out nicely, reading the volume pretty well, holding a key area, and we get another push. And after it starts pushing through high day, I just get a little antsy, just want to lock in my gains. I, at that point, just become green on the day. So I just want to lock in my gains and call it a day and be grateful for not having a $300 loss on the day. So could have been patient, as the next area to look for was 350s, 370s. But, just going to take my gains, as I don't typically take 30% moves. So this was another great play this week, just like GSUN. That was about 30%. So this really saved the day. It was almost down. It was $300, and this brought me right back. So was very pumped about that. It was a great call, and even continued higher. So incredible play. Speaking of incredible plays, BBBY shorts continue to get destroyed, and wasn't really looking at it at this point. Up 3-4 days in a row. Volume was able to come back again with incredible volume 2 days in a row. So I did not see that coming. But that's what happens when shorts expectations fail. They're just going to get out, and you get this massive squeeze. So who knows how much higher this can go. The higher the better. We'll just wait for the multi-day bounce, just like PRTY, which we'll go over next. But this is how these supernovas happen, these big plays. It just starts with early shorts failing to break it down. It keeps pushing higher and higher, and then it just keeps failing to break down, and shorts get squeezed. So sometimes that fuel runs out. Sometimes, in a case like this, there's enough buyers that come in and prop it up, break expectations of shorts, and you get the reversal. So we'll be excited for that multi-day bounce. PRTY here, good call from the watch list, looking for that multi-day bounce. Incredible push, and this is just a reversal. So I'll be done with this most likely. I don't have a pattern anymore for this. Familiar part of the chart is over with, and nothing to do there. Don't want to force anything. There's plenty of other good plays in this market. Then we got, what else? I guess that is it. Callow is another call from the watch list. Another multi-day bounce. We had an incredible push, and then we had this multi-day bounce, which I missed, and it ended up taking off, breaking out to new highs. And it's just been on a downtrend ever since. The volume keeps fading, but it keeps pushing lower. So I'm thinking selling pressure is getting exhausted, and we could get a reversal here soon from all the people locking in gains along the way, who are shorting along the way. It ended up working out. And as I said before, usually the first bounce is the strongest. After that, they get weaker and weaker. So good angle, opportunity to make some money on this, but as you can see, it is much different than what it was doing on this day when it went from 30 to the 50s. So we'll just wrap it up there. Actually, you know what? Let me just go over the plays for tomorrow real quick while we're here. So XPON, this one, looking for failure to break down. See if this could have a multi-day bounce. Style play. It is way off the highs now. So roughly 50% off the highs. I think this could be due for a bounce. Just like, what was it the other day, or was it today? Shoot. I forgot the ticker, but it was way off of the highs, and it ended up being a multi-day bounce, but happened the day after the spike, only because it retreated so much, just like this. Then we got AMV from yesterday, looking for the multi-day bounce after a monster move. So keep that on watch. KERN, this one held up nicely today. Low float, solid resistance here in the low twos, but continues to make higher lows on the chart. And tomorrow is Friday as well. We're going to be heading into a 3-day weekend. So I'm thinking we can possibly have a short squeeze if shorts expectations are broken. They're going to want to get out and protect their money, especially going into a long weekend in this market. Everything's kind of spiking. So it would be risky for them to hold through a long weekend. Any PR or something could drop and just destroy them even more. So if this comes back to the high ones, low twos, confirms it as support, this could see another short squeeze, considering the float, how there's solid resistance here in the low twos, likely some shorts thinking this will head lower, especially when you have a chart like this where it's just a one and done kind of chart. So might have a lot of shorts packed in there, and if it holds up, it could invert the general trend and we get a squeeze higher. And that's going to be the same thinking with Y10. Solid resistance here in the mid threes, low float, heading into a long weekend, garbage history. Besides a spike, I think the other year, there was something I thought, no? Or maybe it was just this, yeah, it was just this move. So people likely packing this short, but today here, although it was kind of downtrending, not kind of, clearly is downtrending, and it did close right below or right above open price and used VWAP as resistance. I feel like this has yet to truly break down. Like the highs are 345. It only got down to 275, and then throughout the day it came back to the low threes. So I'm thinking if we come back to the mid threes and confirm that area of support, I think we can see shorts getting squeezed out to 4, maybe even higher. But the same thinking as with KERN. Just looking for that failure to break down and shorts getting squeezed, accompanied with low float. And we're heading into the weekend. Friday is a decent day for short squeezes as people aren't going to risk it over the weekend. Who knows what kind of news could come out. Then we got BWEN from yesterday, still holding up pretty well here. So we'll keep this on watch for a 498, 497, whatever. We'll just call it 5. Breakout. We could get demand to really come back. That could be nice, or else it'd be a slow play, or we'll get stuffed. Might get a fake out. So just ignore the low volume. But if demand really picks up and we confirm 5, I don't see why we can't test 6. It was a nice 20% move from the breakout level. So demand will be key to eye for that. But nonetheless, keep it on watch. BOXD, potential breakout play. Right now, low volume, but still holding up. This one just pushing up higher and holding near the highs on low volume. So maybe we get another style move, like how it moved from 40 to 68. Maybe if we break 68, we can test at least the mid 70s. It's got some resistance here around the low 70s. But after that, I could see the 90s. But really, what's going to be key is the demand. Surprise, surprise. And this thing looks like it can move. It's not a slow mover. If the demand is there, this thing could really come back. So keep this on watch for a breakout play. And lastly, EBON. Here, incredible move from the 3s to just under 10 in about a week. And now we're hitting the backside, low float play, and not that far off the highs, but still sellers are in control. So keep this on watch for a momentum shift for the multi-day bounce. Yeah, we'll just wrap it up there. Feels like I've been talking forever. So pretty strong day. Grateful to be back just above break even. Just about 25, 30 bucks green. So let's just continue this momentum in this market. Finish the week strong and enjoy the 3-day weekend. So I've been a little all over the place this week. I have been trading a bit much. Got 6 trades in this week, which for me, I think it's a bit much. But considering the market, I guess not horrible. There are some opportunities. So just need a little reset, and it'll be nice to come back next week refreshed. So we'll catch you all tomorrow with a video lesson, or this weekend, but for sure tomorrow morning on Tradecaster and YouTube.